Hi there. So I'm going to run through the significance of the infinity symbol, particularly in tarot, in this deck in particular. It is significant. The infinity symbol in itself is significant, but the symbolism in the infinity symbol in this deck of tarot cards is actually one of the most simplistic, but also one of the most profound pieces of these cards, of this entire deck. And I know that it's often looked over. I also know that it's often looked over in its origins and its relationship to an evolution within these cards themselves. So the infinity symbol, actually I'm just going to start with the Fool card because it is related to the Fool card. So the Fool card is a card that depicts materialistic reverence, and the Fool card depicts the folly of man through naivete. And what I mean by that is it depicts the folly of man by way of being so transfixed on the beauty of the world in which we live, by way of the naturalistic beauty of the world in which we live, being transfixed by that and not being able to see beyond the surface, not being able to understand that there is something beyond the surface of materialistic existence. That's what the Fool card, that's what the nature of the Fool card is actually about, thematically. It's basically, it is the card of unknowing naivete. And there are other things about it, but that is effectively what it is. And the Fool card actually the Fool card is the zero card, which is the no thing, zero. The nothing, the no thing. And this is a divine spark who simply doesn't understand, doesn't see itself, doesn't understand even the beginnings of its true nature. This is the divine spark that is devoted to body encapsulation, and devoted to and chained to a life and existence perspective of body encapsulation, and that there is nothing contained within the body beyond organs and anything that scientists, it can be a perspective that is dominated by scientism or just simply rudimentary science, while also having a very strong reverence for the beauty of nature. But the process of coming to know and understand thine own soul has not begun with the Fool card. There's heavy symbolism in this card, and I will speak about that later in another video. But So the 0 is actually incredibly significant in this card by way of its relationship to the infinity symbol, in which this is the nothing card. This is the no thing card. And what the 0 actually represents in relationship to the infinity symbol is a twisting of. So if you have a 0 and you simply give it a twist, well, what happens? If you grab it from the top and the bottom and you give it a twist, what happens to that? It turns into an infinity symbol, does it not? Why is that significant? Well, it's significant because the Fool card is naivete. The Fool card is surface level existence. And when you have somebody who is dominated by surface level existence, or simply, dominated is a strong word, but people can become that. In fact, a lot of people are. And it's not necessarily always a person's fault when that is the case in their life. Largely that can become the case in somebody's life, and can become the case in somebody's life in a prolonged fashion because of the nature in which they have to exist within this state of human existence, and that it's all hustle and bustle. It's all move quickly, survive quickly, stand on your stand on your own 2 feet strongly and quickly, and don't be concerned with anything other than forward motion in life at all costs. Always be moving forward in every minute of every day. Don't take a second to consider just base level conscious existence. Don't allow yourself to do that. You can't afford the time to do that. And also, what's really the point of that? A flower is a flower is a flower is a flower. A river is a river is a river is a river. A waterfall is a waterfall is a waterfall is a waterfall, and so on. Yeah, they're beautiful, but it's time to really get serious about life. You need to be. And what happens when there is no or very little philosophic, metaphysical contemplation in somebody's life is they become transfixed by the natural physical beauty of the world, because the natural physical beauty of the world is the gateway in which you are being invited by your own perception of it to walk through the phase of naive but understandable reverence for the kingdom, the physical kingdom before you. Understandable because naturalistic beauty in the world is undeniably poetic and something that can be very easy to just see and say, wow, it's incredible, and then consider nothing else about it. It's incredible. I got to get back to work. When it comes to the 0 and the infinity symbol, when the 0 is given a twist, well, what happens? It becomes the infinity symbol, and the infinity symbol depicts your first step, at least in this tarot deck, in its relationship to the Kabbalah. The understanding of the existence of the two energies that everybody contains, the polarized energies that everybody contains. which is sacred feminine and sacred masculine principles, which are depicted, like I said before, in another video, by these two cards, the Magician and the Strength card, with the twisted up 0 above the heads of both the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, and their understanding of the unbroken link between the two of them. Their understanding of their unbroken link between the two of them, and how that actually, how that perspective and that knowledge and that relationship is actually something that is simply infinite and gives you the ability, because once you know, you cannot unknow once you know. And I mean that in the most I mean that from a Gnostic perspective, from a Gnostic standpoint. Once you have come to know, you will know for infinity. And this is also why, like I said in another video, I do believe that the infinity symbol is also utilized and has also been utilized in party masks around the eyeballs, which in itself is its own form of occult mockery, because it is demonstrating the taking of sacred, of very basic, but well, not basic, but very simplistic symbolism around sacred wisdom between one's true nature and the relationship, the infinite relationship between sacred masculine and sacred feminine energies that exist in everybody. It's taking that I'll say the infinity symbol is very elegant, and it's taking that elegant symbolism and it's giving it to somebody who is more than likely in a phase of their life where they are in material plane naivete, transfixed by the kingdom, have not yet stepped through the first gate, and are transfixed by the beauty of the kingdom. It's taking that the infinity symbol, and it's placing it around the eyes, which is its own form of mockery. And it's placing it around the eyes by way of, you will see how we would like you to see, and you will not know what we don't want you to know. You will not know what we don't want you to realize. You will not know what you have not come to realize on your own. We are not here to hold your hand, so to speak, to begin your own process of coming out of naivete. In so much that, as a matter of fact, we're going to mock you with these symbols. And we're going to mock you with these symbols in such a manner where not only are you placing this very elegant and incredibly meaningful symbol around your physical eyeballs, but the common manner in which you are doing that, the common place in which you are doing that, is to go to a party and just be with others who are likely going to be wearing their own infinity masks. And none of you are going to be any the wiser about what that symbol actually symbolizes and what it actually symbolizes in the context of social gatherings where we are more than hopeful and more than assured that you have not yet stepped through your first gate of coming out of physical plane naivete.